dying, and our survival hangs in the balance. In the past year, over 70% of U.S. bee colonies, more than 1.1 million hives, were lost, marking the worst collapse on record. At 4RBs, we're fighting back with our breakthrough PureWave cell, a quantum frequency device crafted with 48,000 Gauss rare earth magnets in the shape of the flower of life. When placed inside a beehive, it delivers remarkable results. Colonies grow 2 to 3 times larger, honey production soars, pesticide and antibiotic use drops to zero, colony collapse nearly vanishes, and queen replacements plummet. Every purchase also supports our beekeeper program, providing free PureWave cells to small beekeepers worldwide. Rebuilding life one hive at a time. Join the fight today and buy a jar of PureWave honey, or even one of the cells used by the beekeepers. Use code WITF for 20% off at 4rbs.com. And if you're listening on audio only, that's the number 4, letter R, bees.com.
Where in the Folk is not and should not be viewed as a news source. Any names, places, or likenesses mentioned are purely fictional, and any information discussed is purely speculative. Guest opinions are their own and do not reflect those of anyone else. Where in the Folk is not responsible for content accuracy of any stories that are told or what people do with these stories. This show is vulgar, sometimes graphic, and due to its content, it should not be viewed by anyone actually.
Welcome to another episode of Where in the Folk, brother. I hope everybody's had a great hour. We just got off about an hour ago from talking to Joe Exotic, and this is your follow-up show where we want to review some of his videos and talk about some wild stuff, wild things. And thank you for joining us.
Hey, Landa.
Hey, Lander.
Hey,
Landa.
definitely a very interesting character.
Yeah. Very interesting. He's straight to business, as I would be too in his situation.
Oh yeah.
But before totally interrupted me while I was talking about
Please, by all means.
We were talking about the 3i Atlantis comment and how it changed trajectory. And I said that I seen something the other day where the sun had shot a beam directly at this comet when it started breaking up. And it's true. On September 27th, 2025, the sun unleashed a powerful coronal mass ejection, a CME, directly targeting the comet 3i Atlas. So...
what does that mean for the Fortnite servers?
I have no idea.
I mean, what does that really mean, though?
Well, when it did it started making it break up, and it seems weird because, of course, we talked about it, and the guy from Harvard or whatever said that he believes it to be an international spaceship coming from a different galaxy to invade Earth, and it's just really peculiar that our sun happens to set up a defense against it of some kind.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like the guys that live in the sun are like, okay, let's take care of this now.
Yeah.
It's pushing its luck.
Like we're living in a science fiction world now.
We are. Hey, Jenny.
Hey, Jenny.
Hey.
It really is science fiction now. Like once upon a time, many millennia ago, a stellar spaceship was headed toward to attack Earth, and then the sun unleashed hell. Like, it doesn't.
Okay, so read the headline again. What does it say?
On September 27th, 2025, the sun unleashed a powerful coronal mass ejection, a CME, directly targeting the comet 3i Atlas.
Was that the rapture day?
No, the rapture was the 23rd, I think.
Okay. I started to say maybe there was something to that.
And unfortunately, we didn't make the cut, so that's a bummer.
A lot of people didn't make that cut.
Yeah, I knew me and Tully wouldn't, but I figured Steven was on.
Yeah, Julian calendar now, so that's why it was off by 13 days.
Yeah. I don't know.
So October 7th now is the new date.
Is it? Is it really? That makes sense.
Oh wow, there you go.
I didn't see that, Jenny. Has the first temple with an alien gray as a Naga in temple worship. See if you can get something on that, Cecil.
Yeah.
I sure will.
There's a guy from India goes around to all these temples, and you want to talk about some really strange stuff that's been carved out on these temples. Praveen Mahan, I believe is the guy's name, but he shows some really strange stuff on some of these old temples.
Oh yeah, Jenny knows exactly what you're talking about. Apparently,
Yeah.
she said it the same time you did.
Well, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Really stuff.
Well, there are people that worship that spaghetti monster thing.
Yeah, I mean, the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
There you go. That's the one.
There's literally like a tribe that worships planes as gods. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Did you ever see the movie The Gods Must Be Crazy?
Yeah. Yes.
Somebody threw a green Coke bottle out of an airplane and it hit this tribesman in Africa in the head. And it was like the strongest tool they had. It is the funniest thing because they decide that it needs to go back to the gods because it's done nothing but cause problems for their tribe.
Yes.
And this Englishman tries to go back and give this damn Coke bottle to the gods. Watch it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
That is insane, actually.
I couldn't find anything about that, but I want to give a slight TV review of the new Ed Gein movie. They took some liberties, changed the story a little bit, for interest, but Ed Gein was not like 6'4" and shredded to death. So that kind of ruins it for me a little bit, but it's all right. So go check it out.
Who says? Who says he wasn't?
History.
Anymore though, Cecil. History, may or may not be there.
They take a lot of liberties on a lot of shows these days about historical figures.
Well, the only thing that a little bit of spoiler, but this happens right at the beginning. He had a friend that was his neighbor, and his neighbor was a boy, and they like looking at comics and stuff together. In this movie, they made it a girl, and it's his love interest. And Ed Gein did not have love interest. His mother was his love interest. So that's one thing that kind of threw me off about it.
Are people like pushing back against what they're doing?
I don't know. I just started watching it last night at like 1 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know.
Oh man, you should have just had a midnight snack.
Yeah, when we got home from Waverly and stuff, I watched the episode of it.
So, what did you all think about the conversation with Joe?
Very interesting character.
Yeah,
Very interesting character. And I've never watched any of it. So, I mean, I'm just going strictly on the conversation tonight. I mean, I kind of had a little bit of an idea of who he was, but I have not watched it.
You should, at least the first season. Like I said, so Carol sued Netflix apparently after the first season because there's a lot of people who believe, and, we gave the disclaimer at the beginning of the show. I don't have a dog in the fight. We're merely saying what people have people's opinions after watching it. But everybody after the first season was like, what really did happen to Carol's husband?
Yeah.
And there were so many people that thought that she had done something nefarious to her husband. She sues Netflix, and then Netflix makes a second season, and the second season really just felt like the whole season was geared toward protecting her in that situation. So basically they couldn't produce the missing husband.
Right.
A husband goes missing. She makes a bunch of millions of dollars.
Right.
They couldn't produce the husband to dispel it. So instead they basically tried to make the husband look like a pedophile on season 2.
Yeah. Yeah. And And that could have been the case. There's several things that could have happened, but
Yeah.
but when it comes to Joe, like watching the first thing, yeah, he's a character. He does some wild things. But the thing that he did in that in that area, I guess he called it a zoo, right? I don't remember what he called it. He called it a habitat.
It is a zoo. It was
Yeah.
a zoo. Yeah.
Right.
Big cat
They do
rescue.
that. They do that everywhere.
Or I guess that's Carol's official name.
If you, I personally don't like going to zoos anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they do that at all of them. So to single him out for that particular thing is kind of messed
Right.
up.
Yeah,
And
that's
I have a mixed opinion on zoos. I have seen animals caged, but so many of them now, you can't. Poachers are killing them. They're decimating them. So while I hate them being caged, at least it's keeping the population,
right.
Some degree.
Yeah. And a lot of them are born in captivity now. So what are they going to do if you were to release them? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
they
wouldn't know. They wouldn't know how to survive. Joe Hansen of Weird Realities, Joe, actually has a book called Sunny, and it is about a monkey that this guy basically kidnaps from overseas because they were using them as bushmeat.
mhm.
He raises this monkey as a person. His children think of him as their brother. Well, he passes away, and before his kids can get there, somebody at this local museum or something decides they're going to keep him until they can figure out what to do with him. Well, these two guys that are working the night shift give the monkey acid.
Nice.
And of course he loses it and almost kills one of them and hurts the other one pretty bad. And then he gets loose. Well, he goes to the zoo because he smells other monkeys there, and he doesn't know how to react or interact with them, because he was raised as a person, whereas it was a really good book. I mean, it was phenomenal, but it just goes, it kind of compounds the fact that you can't take something that has been, taken care of all its life and has no concept of how to survive in nature. If my dogs were to get loose and have to survive without people, they couldn't.
That's what
unless they took the cat with them, and she's the best hunter I've got.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like the other day, I was messing with my dogs. I was like, "Here, just go," and I opened the door and held it open. Any other time they would have sprinted out, just being jerks. But I was like, "Go ahead, I don't care anymore." They just stood there and looked at me and turned around.
Yeah.
Like they couldn't-
That's you love us, Daddy.
yeah.
So exactly, so like I said, you can't turn them loose. You can't put them back in nature because they don't know how to survive. They don't have those instincts. And I'm not saying they couldn't get them back,
Right.
But the odds of them surviving it are so diminished when they've never had that environment.
Yeah. Yeah. Would they be accepted?
Mm-hmm.
That would be the other thing.
Yep.
There are so many videos here of the 700 of his 700 videos not used in the Joe Exotic criminal trial, and I'm having trouble deciphering which ones to play. So I don't know if you guys want to progress through that.
Well, let's see.
Yeah, some of them are pretty lengthy. So.
Yeah, let's look.
That's what Tully said. but
I started it.
But either way you go, I mean, like even watching that stuff, which we need to look into more evidence and stuff. Like everybody should really, and do what you think is right. I'm pretty sure they straight up said that they set him up. They set him up.
The order of events. What's the jet ski guy's name again? The
James,
the Chucky looking guy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Let me hang on.
His name is James Jetski Garrettson.
Yeah. So James Garrettson gets in trouble with the feds. He said in the documentary it's because he had an illegal lemur, but there was a lot more that he was in trouble for allegedly than just the lemur. So they had him pinched. He had already offered Joe to the feds when Jeff was like, I think in tandem getting in trouble with the feds as well for all the animals and everything that Joe mentioned earlier. He was in trouble in a different state. Well, James calls Jeff and is like, if we roll on Joe, we could probably get out of trouble.
Yeah.
And they have a third party. Frank Glover was supposed to be the hitman in this whole situation. And so basically my interpretation based on the allegations is that James and Jeff convinced Frank to say that Joe paid him to go do the murder for hire.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of doubt that the first season leaves in that because one, Frank, whenever the police catch up to him, isn't even in Florida, which is where the big cat rescue is. He's in South Carolina.
Right.
But he tells the feds that he was in Florida, that he actually went there.
Yeah.
Which is a component that they needed for all of this. But whenever that got so shaky, because the documentary came out sort of in the midst of all of this, and when that got shaky, the charges changed because they ended up, and I guess someone must have told Jeff that Joe euthanized some of the cats. And one of the charges was 9 counts under the Endangered Species Act, which is what Joe brought up while we were on the call.
Right.
And so Joe euthanized the cats, and they were, I think the skeletons were still on the property, and they charged him with all of them.
Yeah.
They also charged him with 8 counts under the Lacey Act, which is like falsifying wildlife transaction records. And hit him with 2 murder for hire plots, both of which were related to Carol, but one of those, I believe, was overturned.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like he said, when it comes to the cats, they're now saying they're man-made. So, I mean,
it's crazy. If there wasn't all these legal loopholes, like your public defender didn't file enough BS and now you can't appeal anymore.
yeah.
Right.
The longer that stuff has been able to come out, the shakier this whole case has got. They may have really only had like a slap on the hand for, hey, you killed animals and you, said you didn't report it correctly or whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I mean, what, like, I don't want to bring this up, but cruelty to animals, even if they went with that, there's a couple people in this county who filmed themselves torturing a dog, and they didn't get anything.
Yeah, slap on the damn wrist.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, it really seems weird. It's strange.
Right.
And you know, one of the things I have up here, it's showing that Jeff Lowe had a history with Carol before. Do you want to watch that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Let's see. Let's get into them and see what we can find here.
Like I said, we don't have to watch the whole thing. We can just kind of bounce around.
While I was there, Joe said he was expecting another visitor, a fellow big cat owner. We were standing out in the gravel parking lot near Joe's house when a white Hummer rolled up. A man stepped out wearing a black baseball cap over a black do-rag and a black plaid shirt.
Jeff.
With him were his wife and 2 kids. one of whom was holding a baby white tiger. We went inside Joe's house. It was dark, and the beige carpet was stained with stale cat piss. His brown couch was scratched to shreds from all the cubs and wiener dogs Joe had raised there. The man put his white tiger down on the carpet. Then one of Joe's employees brought in a liger cub. She was big and fluffy, like a stuffed animal come to life. She waddled over to the tiger cub and sniffed him suspiciously.
She's like, hey, this is cool. It's not a wiener dog.
The man was clearly interested in buying a cub from Joe, but he was careful not to say that out loud, at least not around me.
You gotta come back for this one. You gotta come back for this one. Oh, you are stubborn, aren't you? Yeah. You got some attitude, don't you?
While the cats played on the floor, Joe and the man disappeared into the kitchen and discussed something in hushed tones. Later, when he was outside getting ready to leave, I introduced myself to the man in black. His name was Jeff Lowe.
Jeff Lowe, L-O-W-E.
He had tan skin, a neatly trimmed gray goatee, and cold blue eyes. Jeff told me he lived in South Carolina. He owned a liquidation business, reselling the stuff that people returned to Walmart. But his real passion, he told me, was raising tigers and lions. About a year earlier, he had started collecting big cats, and he kept them in a huge warehouse, alongside the forklifts and cardboard boxes full of patio furniture. Now, he was looking to team up with Joe. There was a property next to the zoo that he had his eye on.
I said, I can buy the property for $100,000, 10 acres. We put a whole big breeding facility in a beautiful place over there. Yeah.
He said he planned to buy the land and build what he called a whole big breeding facility. It turned out he and Joe shared more than just an interest in tigers. A few years back, Jeff had planned to open a cub petting zoo in South Carolina. But Jeff said someone had started an online petition about him, complaining that his tigers were in small cages. Eventually, the county blocked him from showing exotic cats. Guess who's behind it, he said. Carol Baskin.
She's the devil incarnate.
Jeff claimed he found her cell phone number and called her up.
Listen, you bitch. I'm not Joe Shiloh. I don't go from paycheck to paycheck. I said, I will sue your ass.
I will sue your ass.
And I said, and if I lose, I'll do to you what you did to your husband.
And if I
Oh, pause that.
to you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joe's in jail and this guy's not.
Yeah.
Listen to that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'll do to you what you did to your husband.
And if I lose, I will do to you what you did to your husband.
Wow.
And nobody even asked him a question about this, probably.
No.
No.
Right.
Mm-mm.
That's
Wow.
wild. That's so wild. I don't know. It's really piqued my interest. Like, I don't know. Like, it's a wild one. It's a wild case, and it was a wild show anyway. Like Joe was an animated character on there, and I assume he is in life. You know, that's
Nobody's trying to say that he's a perfect person, though.
no.
Joe's not a perfect person. Joe has his flaws, just like everybody.
Oh yeah.
But what we're saying is, you know, there was we are conspiracy podcasts down to the heart of it. If you get down to what it was started over, and this seems like a conspiracy, to have somebody locked up like forever. So, I mean, it the more you look into it, even on the show, it sounded like it to me. Like, you can even ask my wife when it happened. I was like, that sounds crazy, you know, like.
He didn't commit murder.
No.
And he's in jail for more than what some murderers are in jail for.
Yes. Absolutely.
Some people only spend like 5 years in jail for some murders.
Yeah.
Depending on where it's at, who it is,
how it happened,
how profile it is. Yeah. He never hurt anybody other than what they have on the animals, but he never killed any human being, and he's in prison for sentenced to 22 years.
Yeah. And the thing is, you know, think about it, like he was talking about with P. Diddy. P. Diddy got 4 years for everything he's done. Like,
Well, because
Yeah.
the politicians got rid of all of his
Right.
trafficking charges.
yeah,
Right. Or that or he was talking about the minister out in Texas that
Yes.
they just gave 5 years?
6 months.
6
Or
months. There you go. There you go. I mean, and that's insane.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just
Yeah, his charge was with a girl who was, I think with that case right there, from what I understood about it, she hadn't even made it to teenage.
Yeah.
Yet when that started. So
Yeah.
And he gets 6 months.
Yeah. And I mean, he shouldn't be allowed to breathe. You know,
Right.
I mean, just
No.
You
No,
know, and that's the thing is because I know me, you know, okay, I'm not going to say I could never take a life because if you ever hurt one of my kids, you know, I'm willing to do that time. And retaliation for that, I would get time. Big
forever.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, Landa, that's just crazy to me that it's par for the course. I'm sure that if just like they slapped Epstein's hand on the first go round, the only reason they killed him was either they couldn't get him off or they killed him. You know, like who knows?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he's in that same minimum security prison that she's in now.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah, it's wild stuff. I mean, the world we live in, though, it all seems like a reality show anymore. It really does. Like every bit of it.
You are not wrong.
And the Epstein thing, for example, like Tully said, when they killed him, the narrative is he killed himself, but it's so speculated now that if you ask about just about anybody, if what happened to him, they're gonna be like, oh, they killed him. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Like, and it's weird that's came down to that situation because 15, 20 years ago it'd be a conspiracy theory. But now everybody's like, well, they did it. It's an open thing. Like, I don't know. It's so strange.
Well, you know, that people ask you, you know, I've been asked this 100 times. If you could time travel, we go forward or backwards. I'd really like to go forward a couple hundred years and see what they say about this time in history.
If it's
yeah, exactly. But
they'll probably call it the best times. Say what you will about Bill Clinton, but in the 90s were all right for me. Like
the 90s were great. I mean, you know, do I think that he was perfect either? Hell no.
No. In all honesty, I mean, it was good for everybody till the .com bubbles busted.
Yeah.
You know, and that's when things.
So, Jenny, do you think he was a clone? Is that what you're saying? Comment some more about that.
Yeah.
Referring to Epstein?
The one thing about that video we just watched that kind of blew my mind was when he said he bought 10 acres for $100,000. I was like, damn, good job.
Those days are long gone.
So, dude, Low, he had to actually turn over his zoo to Baskin, didn't he? Like 4 or 5 years ago, something like that.
He took Joe's zoo.
Right, but
that's how he got his animals.
I thought he had to turn his over to Baskin a few years ago.
Maybe he did.
For animal cruelty.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure. They got him for animal cruelty a few years ago, and he was ordered to turn all of the animals over to her, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, see, and she
I did do a little research, Tully.
No. I don't know. You need to confirm that. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
But
with that right there, you know, Joe, he really didn't. You know, he said Carol was the one that didn't go after him, but you know, with me, you know, we cover conspiracies, and it kind of makes me wonder what she possibly could have done, you know, behind the scenes.
Well, even on the show, she is rubbing elbows with some pretty high politicians.
Right.
and was lobbying. Like she herself, I believe, in the show is lobbying with money
Right.
to try to like see things through.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And,
Okay, so in 2020, he was sued over inhumane treatment of animals by the U.S. government.
Mhm.
And of course, he said they were false allegations. And then, hang on, I just saw it. In June of 2020, a court ordered him to vacate the zoo and hand the premises to Carol Baskin. So,
Yeah.
he lost it all.
good.
And,
Yep.
so with that right there, though, I mean, how did the court decide to give it to her and not Oklahoma City Zoo?
I don't know. Wait,
Because she lobbies.
Yeah.
Okay,
Was it
all
down
he
to-
handed
was it
over
worth it?
was the premises because in August that same year, he moved with 160 big cats to a new zoo in Thackerville. And I don't know where Thackerville is.
I
And
think
named it. Where's that?
Thackerville is just north of Brown Springs, Oklahoma.
Okay.
And Brown Springs
right.
is just a couple hours. I don't know. I'm not sure how far it is north of Dallas, but it's just north of Dallas. It's
Okay.
on the north side of the Red River. So
Well, they evidently set up a new zoo and named the Tiger King Park.
so.
Right.
There was a man toward the end of the show. His name was Tim Stark, and he was partnering with Jeff. So they were all frenemies during this whole thing. So Tim Stark was also known for big cats. And Tim Stark was footing some of the bill to open a secondary big cat zoo so that Jeff Lowe could absolve himself of the property. But then they started bickering at the end of season 1 because Jeff wasn't putting any money in. He was just letting Tim foot the bill for this new zoo.
I gotcha.
So that may be that zoo.
mhm.
Yeah, could be. Let's see.
Yeah, Jenny. I think I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I haven't heard that theory. But I have heard so I haven't heard that he was a clone, but I have heard of people in very powerful families cloning themselves because they can't trust anybody.
Oh, you talking about Epstein? Epstein was he was in dynamics like crazy, right? Like not dynamic. What's it called? He's
Diabetics. I don't know what
he's trying to spread his seed across like the world or whatever. What's it called?
Eugenics.
Eugenics. I don't know. I'm very tired.
Diabetics.
Dynamics is probably, I think. But I don't know. Like that was his whole thing. He was trying to get his seed out there and build his own little army or something. I don't know.
So you think there's a bunch of Epstein clones running around?
Nah, maybe. You never know. He looked like Andrew Jackson, president.
Yeah,
he did.
But he was definitely had ties with the CIA and all that stuff and Mossad and everybody like that. I mean, there's really no denying that at this point, I don't think. Especially with his ties to the royal family and stuff like that. So there's people getting killed left and right for that, I'd imagine. Still yet.
right.
Well,
Yeah.
Stark said that the partnership with Jeff Lowe is what destroyed him.
So they didn't do it together then.
No, said that when he started transferring and moved his animals to Oklahoma, that Jeff started to turn on him and made his life a living hell, and he lost everything.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That guy seems shady. I mean, to make a lot of money like that, sometimes you got to be a cutthroat. But when does it come down to where's your humanity at? You know? Oh.
Right.
Right.
Well, I mean, anybody, like I said, that's, that's abusing animals.
Can you
Yeah,
easily
that's
find the video that he was talking about Jeff and his wife? Did I guess the whole not trafficking, but he alleged that they were like raping people or something.
Oh yeah, that evidently his wife. Hang on, I can send you a link to that one.
Allegedly.
Yes,
send me a link,
allegedly.
because I mean, there's so many different ones here, and the titles are
Yeah.
wild, and
One.
some of them's 47 minutes long.
Mhm.
Ding ding. I sure would like to have a shot of espresso right now, Tully.
Go get one, dude. I had some coffee in between shows.
I think Mandy's went out to town, and usually when she goes out to town, she brings back 7 brews. So we'll see what happens.
There you go.
I'm ordering a new tower, so hopefully, like I'm tired of taking my laptop to and from, and you can get mini towers now.
Yeah.
This is totally a tangent. So this is why Apple is a scam. You can get a mini Apple tower, and it's going to be like $1,000 for 8 gigs of RAM and 250 SSD and like a 2.5 processor.
Yeah.
You can get a mini PC with 16 or 32 gigs of RAM, 500 SSD, and a 3.5 processor for $150.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna get one of those and like tape it to the desk so I can play that should be like a 3.5 processor should definitely be enough to play some videos.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That way, if you want to go get an espresso, I can just play some videos or something.
That'd be groovy. Or I want to take a smoke break, walk around the yard a little bit.
A Rockefeller adopted a kid of the Chase banking elite. Oh, I lost it. Hang on. Did I lose it? Yeah. Not just him.
I did find one where him and his wife evidently are arguing about the allegations.
Yeah, play that.
The link. Okay, hang on. I'll put that one in the private chat.
Maybe that's what he was talking about.
Yeah,
maybe.
The link that I went to is more of it's talking about it, and then it's got 6 or 7 videos, but it's not real specific on what they all are.
Yeah,
I got you.
Shut up. I don't have one, you dumb fuck. Yeah, you do. You're a rapist. Fuck you. You raped 2 girls.
Did you hear her ask me to fuck you? Fuck me, daddy?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you hear fuck me, daddy? Did you hear fuck me, daddy?
Because, oh my God, if you did, that's so wrong. And it
Did you hear fuck me, daddy?
No,
you walked in the room. You
didn't.
watched it, so I guess that makes you an accomplice.
I didn't.
You watched it, bitch. You
and I
watched
should have called the cops.
And everybody at that place knows you watched it. Fucking hands off me.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah. It just seems like they're very dramatic people, right? That's such a wild life, man. Like, I don't know. I could even in my wildest days, I couldn't imagine being that wild. And it did sound like there was a accusation of some nefarious things happening there. And was she?
Right.
What's crazy because that's his wife talking.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they are swingers.
Yeah.
So it is normal for them, like throughout the show and stuff, you see them talking about this, and they take big cats, tiger cubs, to Las Vegas to entice younger women to have sex with them, pretty much.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's this whole thing. Like I said, it actually has a story, and it's talking about watching them sit on Facebook and Instagram and luring young girls to the zoo using cubs or telling them they have a job for them and stuff like that, and then drugging them.
That's
You know.
accusations, though.
It is. That's alleged. That is alleged.
That's wild. I mean, they I don't know, like they gave me a bad vibe, and really, I mean, the whole crew was kind of rough people, and we grew up with rough people, so I mean, it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, the dude, the hitman, Doug, I think his name was. Hang on, trying to get back. Frank, yeah, Frank Glover.
Did he also go by Alan Glover?
Maybe. Let me see what his full name is.
Because I see a thing here that says Joe Exotic talks with Alan Glover. I have it keyed up.
Hang on.
I think it's Alan.
Tiger. So when I type in, his name's Frank Allen Glover.
Yeah.
Frank Allen Glover was a felon before he even came to work at Joe's Zoo. Jeff brought him to Joe's Zoo. That's how he ended up there.
Yeah. Oh, I got a little video of him talking with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Alan.
How you doing, sir?
Hanging in there, man. I'm sure you know how it is.
Yes, I do.
It's crazy.
That it is. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
You sound good.
Do what?
You sound good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fighting prostate cancer, and I still get blood every 2 weeks or every 2 months and shit. But I'm here. I ain't giving up yet.
Don't. Please don't.
Hey, man. You know, we have never just been super friends, but you know, I've never had anything against you, Alan. I appreciate everything you're doing to help me get the fuck out of here, man. Because
I am.
This is so wrong.
I know it is, sir.
Alan, when you were on the stand, I knew that wasn't you talking. I just need to know who. You know, me and you both. And we're not stupid people, but me and you both had no clue that a phone pinged every 15 minutes on a cell tower. Who convinced you to come up with that story that you went to Florida and you were so fucked up on drugs and drinking you forgot a cell phone, you didn't even know where you were? Because we know that's bullshit.
Okay, it'll all come out, sir.
You know, that's the stuff that's going to get me home, man. Just, we got to know who made you orchestrate that shit.
That would be fucking Jeff and Brian.
Isn't that crazy? And then they had all that evidence in the courtroom that they knew that they were all bullshit, full of shit. But either way, neither here nor there. I just pray that between you and John Phillips, you can get me the hell out of here before something happens, man. I can't believe Eric died. You know, Brenda Varga is dead now.
Yeah, I heard all that.
Fuck, man. Yeah. Life is too short for this.
Well, losing all those fucking animals didn't help Eric out none.
No, you know, and Eric always done me good. And you know, and it's the same way that when Joel McHale was at the zoo, you can tell that they were all paid to talk shit, you know, for the TV.
Yes, sir.
And I hate the fact that he died, but you know, Eric was his worst enemy. I put him through rehab. I tried to help him.
I know. I carried him there one day and picked him up the following fucking day.
You can only help somebody that wants to help themselves.
Exactly.
All right. Hey, Alan.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, man. The federal government, their shit's all falling apart. When the power flashes, the phones go off.
All right.
If Jeff was any kind of a stand-up guy, when he lost the zoo, they lost the zoo because they wouldn't do things right.
I know.
Right? and if he was any kind of a man, he would have made sure that you and Eric and the guys that stuck it out with him had a place to go.
Right. He didn't.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
when I left the zoo, I found Eric a place to go. He fucked that up. That's on him, you know. But the right thing for Jeff to have done was to make sure everybody had a fucking home.
Well, I got fired before all that shit happened. So he said I pulled a shotgun on him or a rifle.
It's crazy. But man, you know, like I said, we've never been. I always made a point to not be friends with my employees because, you know, Saf lost an arm. Fucking Eric lost half a finger. You know, people die with tigers if we fuck up. And I was a hard ass trying to save everybody's lives.
I get it.
You know?
We all appreciate it.
But at the end of the day, I still would have made sure anybody had a place to go.
I believe that. Jeff didn't care.
So anyway, I appreciate you, man. Just know that, all right?
Thank you very much. We're gonna do what we can to get you. We're gonna get you out of there one way or another.
All right, y'all have a good day.
You too, sir.
That's crazy to hear that after seeing the show.
Yeah.
So the Bryant they mentioned a couple of times, he's actually an agent, right?
I don't know.
Because he's got a bunch of videos in here between Jeff Lowe and Special Agent Matt Bryant.
I just looked up so Eric Cowie actually had him on the list. He was Joe's main zookeeper.
Mm-hmm.
And if you watch the docuseries, Eric testified against Joe.
Yeah.
But he was also like a severe alcoholic. Like he's drinking in every shot that they have of him. He's like stone cold drunk. So I always thought, like watching the show, that he either got paid or got pinched to do that.
Who knows? He passed away though, unfortunately. So,
well, it might not be a bad thing for Joe's case, is all I'm saying. I'm not saying anybody deserves to die, but
so it's from what I'm reading here is that Jeff Lowe and the federal agent concocted, conspired, and colluded to orchestrate a crime. And like I said, he's got several videos that I guess Jeff Lowe recorded of him and the agent talking. So it sounds to me too like this guy is covering his own ass throughout, you know, and everything. Otherwise, why are you recording federal agents?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. He's slick, or he wouldn't be out on the street right now. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's a felon, so he's not. It's not Mr. Rogers that we're talking about.
Right. Absolutely. You know, and that's the thing with me. Okay, and I'm just going to be that person. Certain people, to me, I hold to higher standards. To me, a minister, I hold to a higher standard than I do a regular person. A police officer, a federal agent. You chose to do a job that you should be leading by example. And if a federal agent is concocting and everything, he shouldn't be walking around.
You're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things that we should talk about right here is that was Alan Glover. That was the guy that they hired to be the hitman. And he's supporting. So I mean, he's supporting Joe. So that's kind of strange to me that he would come out and support.
And this just lends another. So think about this. One of the reasons that Joe is in prison is because that guy that we just heard said that he drove to Florida with the intent to kill somebody on Joe's behalf.
Yeah.
And you have him saying that was a lie.
Yeah.
Right.
But because Joe's public defenders didn't do ABCD, they can't go back now and say, hey, this dude has changed his whole story and we've got all this evidence. It's crazy.
Right.
I always thought that if you didn't have proper defense, that you could get your trial done over again. You know, that's
He
if you
said
had,
multiple times that that the appeals court will not allow him to appeal.
Yes.
So I wonder if that's why, you know, I mean, he knows the guy didn't do what he was supposed to do, but unless they approve that appeal, then he's just kind of stuck in limbo.
It's because he said it was because the public defender didn't object enough or something like that. And think about this. Like, none of us have been in the system. No. Joe hadn't really been in the system either. Imagine you get swept up and your property gets taken away from you. All of your worldly belongings get taken away from you. You're swept up. You've never been to prison. You're trying to acclimate to prison life. You're trying to figure out what's going on the outside. You're trying to figure out what's going on with money. He had a husband at the time. You're trying to figure out how to still take care of your husband.
Mm-hmm.
And in the middle of all this, you're also juggling all of these court legal terms that you're just not familiar with. You're not familiar with the process. They could have done anything to a vulnerable person. And Joe's not the only victim of this. There's tons of people who are in prison under very similar circumstances where it's like legal loopholes that are keeping them under the thumb, even though, you know, perhaps their innocence is somewhat blatant. They just, it takes time. Like, even if, like, let's say the president came out tomorrow and said, well, I'm pardoning Joe Exotic. They don't just walk him out of the prison and say, oops.
Yeah.
No.
He's got to go through, he's got to still stay in prison until it's all processed.
Right. And the thing about it is, it doesn't matter if he is granted clemency or anything like that. He's still a convicted felon, and that's what people are going to remember about him. You know,
right.
I never got to ask him about this, but Joe also loves guns.
Yeah.
And
he's done.
Well, if you're pardoned, I think you can still use guns. Like, I don't think he would have the felony.
Right.
Right.
Oh,
And you may be right with that. And I know that they're trying to pass legislation right now in DC that will allow certain felons to be able to get their gun rights back. Excuse me. Because I don't think it's okay that, you know, you make a mistake, especially when you're young, you know, a drug charge or something, and it's a felony. I get that. You did your time and everything like that, but you are never, in the state of Mississippi anyway, allowed to have a gun again, and you can get 10 years if you're caught with one.
Yeah, that's like it, for sure. Yeah. But I don't know. Don't take my guns.
Right. But like I said, you know, I mean, and I know in Kentucky, because we've got a friend that I know in Kentucky that child support is a felony, or it used to be, because we had a friend that actually was under it. And in Kentucky, if you are convicted of felony and it is not a violent felony, after a year, you get your gun rights back. But like I said, Mississippi does not do that. They give you if you are a felon, you will never get your gun rights back in Mississippi at this point.
We're a lot more progressive down here in Kentucky.
We have got one of the most open, I mean, one of the biggest open carry policies in the country. I mean, I can have it in my purse, in my car, anywhere else, and that is an extension of my body.
Yeah.
Ergo, you know, and everything. But yeah, don't ever get convicted of anything if you want gun rights in Mississippi.
Well,
totally off track there.
At least if Joe gets out, if he gets to Mexico, hopefully they can't hit him with like any residual stuff, like try to get him back into the system.
Yeah. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, is to get out. You know, go down there and enjoy life.
Exactly. You know, and that's it. Like I said, because as we've said, there are so many worse things out there that there are people walking around that need to be locked up.
Oh, yeah.
But then you've got bullshit.
People locked up for nothing.
Yeah. You got a lot of people that's in prison that shouldn't be there.
That doesn't, like, I'm not saying Joe's not locked up for absolutely nothing. Yeah. But should the man have gotten 22 years? Probably not, based on the evidence that we've seen so far.
Right.
And especially when you've got people admitting that they lied and everything else.
One of your most critical witnesses saying that they lied about what they were saying on stand. Like, that's huge.
Right.
That's crazy.
You know, so that should be an automatic retrial. You know,
I
it
agree.
shouldn't have to go through the policies.
Yeah.
Or the you know.
Yeah. Anytime that somebody says that they did any kind of perjury, and it's one of the things that was used to get you where you are, there should 100% be at least, very least, a retrial.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Absolutely.
insane. That has not been. I don't know.
Because if you really feel like he should be there, then a retrial should give you the same results.
Yeah.
You know, and if they don't, that's because they have presented evidence that shows that he should have never been there to begin with. You know, it's like, you know, people who sit, you know, on death row for 20 years and then now we have DNA evidence and, oh, yeah, he wasn't lying. He didn't do it. Well, that's still 20 years of his life gone.
Yeah,
You
you don't get that back.
No, exactly. So, but like I said, and I agree with you totally. Like I said, he's by no means perfect, but when you've got murderers and traffickers getting, you know, months
he was
to
a loud
a couple
talker.
of years.
He was a loud talker, you know. He talked about like somebody should kill it, like, you know, just like people. I've heard people like that my whole life, like, I'll kill that son of a bitch, you know, things like that. And they mean nothing by it. They're just saying stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Look, I have literally gotten one strike on Facebook, and it was for telling my husband, when you get home, I'm going to kill you.
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So, and, you know, I've always jokingly said that's the reason I don't have, you know, the echoes and all that stuff is because they say they, you know, grab information and they store it. It's because I threaten him on a regular basis. And I would hate for that to get, you know, called into court, you know, with my.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't have one because they'll use it as evidence when Mandy eventually gets tired of me making fun of her.
Yeah, that's my point.
I do this voice. I do this thing with Mandy. Like anytime she says something or wants to do anything, she's like, "Hey, did you see that bird? Hi, my name's Mandy." Like, I do that over and over.
You would be under the prison.
Exactly. And here's one that looks like it's probably short. It says that and it's for a motion for a new trial where Lowe fraudulently creates a fake attorney's call to him.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let me get a link for that one. Oh, no. How is he still here? Because Mandy is the sweetest person under the sun, is my understanding.
She really I think so.
For a split second, I thought you said that Cecil was the sweetest person.
No, Mandy. I've heard Mandy is like the sweetest person to exist.
I would back that up. She really is.
Okay, I just put you a link in the private chat, Cecil.
No, I've ever known anyway. All right, let's see.
It looks like it's a short one.
Cecil does hear that a lot.
Yeah.
More often than I want to. Let's see. Some may say it's payback. Let's see. All right.
No, that's not the right one. Hold on.
Oh, that's the agent. This may be good though.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like, I know feds, we elected to let Sheriff Wells from the CA handle the question. Okay. All right. So if they decide not to follow up on it, it's just a dead issue? It will probably be. With the wildlife charges and the murder for hire, the forgery for the federal side was right at the very edge of kind of the threshold of what they look at. And if the county was not wanting to do it, we were going to indict it when we did the initial indictment. I doubt the feds will open up a new case just to indict the forgery stuff at that low end. Okay.
Are you going to help get our money back?
We need to get with Sheriff Rhodes and convince the DA to look at this. What they're worried about is this. if there was a contract between you and Joe on what he could spend money on, what he was supposed to use to spend on, etc., then that would make things a lot better. Right. But a verbal agreement that, hey, you take your bills, you do that together, and then have some spam, I think they're chicken shit. I think they should go with it, but I don't know. And I don't believe Sheriff Rhodes has really gone to him and pushed him yet because we're just all kind of waiting to see what happens with the wildlife and the marks are high. Right. Well, you know, when it gets down to it,
So this is 19 minutes. And
Yeah,
the audio that's pretty rough.
Yeah, I just gave you the link to the one
Yeah.
that I was supposed to send you.
The audio on that was pretty rough. It was hurting my ears. Let's see. I believe in
Okay, buddy. So it looks as though James or Jeff and James have a copy. So now we go into damage control. Just assume the worst. This shit's gonna get out and it's gonna be bad. I would recommend we mitigate the embarrassment and have you withdraw from the presidential crap and pray we can avoid more felony charges.
You know, this is all a money grab. Can we buy their silence?
With what money, Joe? You're supposed to be broke.
Better not be broke. I better have 250 grand someplace.
That's a conversation for another day, not tonight. Let's just call Andrew Tate and see what he says.
So allegedly that was Loeb calling and pretending to be his attorney.
That sounded like him.
Mm-hmm. And
that
that's
didn't sound like a
his-
real conversation. It sounded like somebody cut up a video and just pasted voice clips of Joe.
Yeah. Well, it's that's in his evidence not shown in his criminal trial.
Wow. Yeah, that sounded like that's
Joe-
something made of totally for whenever things go sideways on the way out.
Joe's not saying that that's real though, right? Like he's saying that was a fabricated.
Right. He's saying that no, according to this, that's exactly how it's listed is motion for new trial exhibit 184. Lowe fraudulently creates a fake attorney-client call.
Yeah, that's obviously fake. I mean, in my opinion.
In my opinion too, honestly. Somebody that's cut up stuff to just for fun, it sounds like something I would have done. Like I used to do that with our videos. I'd cut up words and stuff and make my own little videos for fun.
Yeah. So evidently it looks to me like from just glancing through some of these is that Lowe is doing that a good bit, to try to, I guess, keep the shit going or whatever.
It might not have been him. I mean, a lot of people sound like him, but that did sound similar to the way his cadence that he talks, and it sounded like somebody literally reading a script. But you said on July 4th, 2022. Like, I don't know. It's wild. Wow.
So, that's crazy. Like I said, and I mean, like I said, it's like he said, they're the ones that are still talking about it, still, putting stuff out there and everything.
He's going on shows constantly.
Uh-huh.
There's not a doubt in my mind that somebody's going to reach out. Like they're on shows constantly, and the Chucky looking dude.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of weeks ago, like 3-4 weeks ago, somebody had Joe on. He talked to them like he did us, and then the very next day they had the Chucky guy on.
Yeah.
We might not be big enough for him. That guy from 401.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I mean, like I said, that keeps them in the spotlight. That keeps them relevant in their world.
I don't know. If we keep getting big guests and stuff on, we might be someday.
Yeah.
But the fact that they keep contacting all of these people wanting to be on their shows, and I understand wanting to give your side of it, but y'all have given your side of it, and you're not sitting in jail. He is.
Yeah.
So
that's what I feel about it.
What else interesting is there on there?
That's what I'm because some of this has gotten like real long ago. It's talking about, it's like clips from the zoo and stuff like that before all of it.
There's all kinds of stuff on here, but the ones that look like they're the most interesting are probably like 16 to 47 minutes long. It's something that we'd have to review and like pick out points in.
What are some of the headlines? Like just
disturbing subject matter, summary of the motion for new trial and its horrifying facts by John M. Phillips.
Yeah. The deposition of Vince Johnson. That's a 2-hour segment. Let's see. His lawyer, John Phillips. Tropical Legal. Oh, that's a podcast name. 48-hour segment on Tiger King. Like, there's all kinds of stuff like that. And it's just really long.
I know what would make me feel better is if you pulled up one of his music videos.
Mandy has been listening to that for the last 2 weeks. Like, I'm not even joking.
If you don't know this, Joe is actually a Grammy nominated singer and has a very beautiful singing voice. He's a country singer. I'm not kidding either. Let me see.
I got one. Here we go. Let's listen to it.
Tell all the hunters to lay down their guns. Tell them that the tiger needs a little bit of love. Let them run the jungle. Let them roam their land. Then stand back and marvel. What a beautiful cat. 'Cause I saw a tiger, now I understand. I saw a tiger, the tiger saw me. I can give him a home, safe and warm. But the law wants to ban me. Can you tell me who's wrong? Every time they move, every time they breathe, I can feel their power, I can feel their peace. 'Cause I saw a tiger, now I understand. I saw a tiger, the tiger saw me. Well, I saw a tiger, now I understand.
Wonderful.
I'm cutting it there. We probably got a copyright strike on that anyway. So
Probably. I don't think so. I don't think he's on a label or anything. He's his own man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, he does not have a bad voice.
No, he doesn't.
Thank you.
To be fair. I'm not going to download the album or anything.
I like the I saw a tiger and the tiger saw a man part. But I mean, looking at
that's true, Lee.
Yeah.
Hey, Lee. By the way,
yep, absolutely. Hey, Lee.
And it's weird watching these videos because every time I see one, I want to pet one of those cats. Like,
well, the cat that he had in the video wasn't a real cat, apparently, according to the state.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's weird how intoxicating those are, though. You know what I mean? Like anytime I see a video of one, I'm like, man, I like to have one of those. You know what I mean? Like,
so Doc, oh Lord, Doc Annell,
and
his park is still, if you haven't seen the documentary, Morgana, you have to watch the documentary if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, as well.
No, I haven't.
So Doc Annell is another huge, like, he was a competitor with both Joe and Carol. He has one of the biggest sanctuaries in the United States, and he's in Myrtle Beach.
Oh yeah.
So I forget what religion he is, but he has multiple wives, like 5 wives.
Mhm.
They all live on this nature preserve. And like his wives ride elephants to work every day. And in order to go to this preserve, I think I looked at the prices. It's $400 a person.
Wow.
And you have to put all your phones in like lock boxes.
No pictures or recording.
And what happens on the reservation stays on the reservation. It's like you can play. I've seen videos. They've got loggers, and people are able to like pet them.
Wow.
And loggers are massive. I don't know if they're way bigger than tigers.
They're a hybrid. They're a man-made animal.
They are a man-made animal, you know. And I don't know about ligers in particular, but I know most man-made animals cannot reproduce.
Yeah.
Right.
So that just says something. You shouldn't be messing with nature.
That's true.
Yep. I agree.
But I mean, that does happen in nature too. Think about grizzly bears.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know it does. But if it happens in nature, then that's fine. But
it's natural.
Look at Labradoodle.
It's not nature either.
You're never, ever, ever going to convince me that a Labradoodle devolved from wolves.
No.
Because you can't do the inverse of that. You can't take a Dachshund and get it back to a wolf.
I'm sorry. I got a Chiweenie I will put up against a damn wolf any day of the week because she is a badass. Oh, that's cool. I meant to tell y'all about this. It's been a few weeks ago. There was a Chihuahua that went missing, and 3 weeks later, they saw a damn wolf pack, and that Chihuahua was running with them.
Wow.
They got video of it. Hell yes. I meant to send that to y'all. I'll find it and send it.
That's how this one's going to do. She's going to get out one day and start running with the wolves.
That's right. Run with the pack. So, but like I said, you know, I know that in some cases, I know that, you know, one breed of animal will accept another, you know, a stray or whatever. But like I said, you know, for the most part, you know, it's a lot of it, I think, is when, you know, the numbers like with the grizzlies and the polar bears and stuff, you know, their numbers have gotten so low that they've started, you know, merging in together. You know, they're losing their habitat and everything.
Yeah.
But
you know, I think the most amazing part of today's conversation was that Joe doesn't harbor any. It doesn't seem like he harbors any ill will toward Carol.
No, she's not the one going after him. He said,
"That's crazy." After all because it wasn't just one-sided animosity. Like they hated each other, like throughout the docu-series.
Right. So they hated each other in the industry, but she wasn't actually the one that got him convicted or anything, was she? Did she even testify?
I don't know.
Let me go look. I need to find that. Now I'm curious.
Because it just showed it very briefly, like toward the end of the season. Are you about to fall asleep, Cecil?
Nah, I'm good.
You keep breathing heavier and heavier, and I'm like, he's just gonna face plant while we're on the.
I'm good, man.
She did testify in a federal hearing after his conviction. She spoke about her fear that he would threaten her if released from prison, and her testimony was part of the sentencing phase.
Yeah.
You know,
So
but like I said, I mean, if that's all she knew was, hey, he tried to hire, you know, somebody to kill me, well, she should feel afraid.
Yes.
You know?
But then when the hitman came out and is like, I made all that up.
Yeah.
Right.
You would think Carol would be advocating for him to get out. Now, I understand that they were like very aggressive business not associates, but competitors. But once that came out that the hitman is saying that it was all BS, you would think that Carol herself would be like, look, yeah, he said a lot of stuff and he pretended to blow me up with tannerite and everything else. But he is actually innocent, like regardless of all the crazy stuff he said.
Yeah.
And actually, after in 2021, she offered to try to help him get out of prison.
Wow.
So, maybe once things started coming out, and she realized that it was all bullshit, she was willing to, do the right thing. Because like I said, if she got before the sentencing committee and said, okay, I didn't even know he was trying to kill me. I'm scared of him. I get that.
I get that too.
But, so like I said, it looks like she did try to do the right thing,
The next time people come out of the woodwork when we have, not you, Lee, this has nothing to do with you. I don't want you to think that what I'm about to say is related to you. but while Joe was on, I'm like, the next time people come out of the woodwork and start commenting, I'm just going to interrupt everything and be like, back then they did walk me down hot. They all love me. And start playing the Mike Jones clip. Because it's like everybody, like, obviously we have our regulars, but then we have these big guests and everybody starts commenting like,
right.
Oh yeah.
No. I'm just thankful to be here.
Is it public record? The FBI agent Bryant, did he move up in rank or anything like that after this all took place?
That would be interesting to figure out.
Yeah.
Everybody getting kickbacks.
I mean,
if you haven't watched the docuseries, I know I just keep saying this over and over again, but you'll see the head FBI agent that oversaw all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some questions they ask where it's like, well, but you really don't have anything. And she's almost like, well, but that's why we introduced these charges. Mm-hmm. And it's like they were too far in to the process where it would have made them look like fools if it had all just deconstructed before he went to prison.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, like you say, you're so far in that there's no way to back out of it gracefully.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus they granted amnesty to all of these felons, you know what I mean? Like to testify and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow. You can get like the signed confession and everything on his website here. This is wild. Yeah, go to joeexoticofficial.com. Make sure you spell it correctly because I didn't. And you can pull up all this evidence. You can look at all the signed confessions, everything, like even the appeals records and all that stuff. There's so much here. Like there's so much here.
And there is an FBI misconduct case in this. So like I said, evidently somebody came up with, a reason. But yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there are PDFs with signed affidavits and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, he said he had over 600, 700 videos of his innocence, and nobody will even look at it.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. I don't want to buy any of his bedding, y'all.
Why not?
Hang on. I'm going to show this one. Because I think that Stephen and Cecil need to see it.
All right.
La-di-da-da. There you go.
Dude, I want that. Where did you get that?
You just had a birthday and I hadn't gotten you anything.
I'm buying that.
I saw a tiger.
That's
No,
right.
no joke. No joke. My wife will love that. That's getting purchased.
I mean, like I said, he's got other ones that are, just like a tiger cub and stuff. But yeah, I don't want that particular one.
No,
Could
I'll pass on that
Could you see Mo coming home to that?
one.
Yep.
And that's when the fat starts.
That's right. There you go.
That's it. The close up of it. That's fucking perfect.
There is one, which this is very lewd what I'm about to say, but Joe in the documentary is very open about certain piercings he has.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is like on his part,
on his gun.
Yeah. And it was wild to hear that. Like, I guess, I don't even know how to say that.
Something you never wanted a mental image of, right?
Like, I'm talking about putting padlocks in it.
Ooh.
You never done that?
And I don't even have that, but good God.
That's the one. That's the back cover right there.
Hey, Mandy's got a birthday coming up.
Yeah.
Well, definitely, like I said, while he's definitely not innocent of everything, like I said, he didn't deserve a 22-year sentence. Share his stuff on social media. If you can get behind him, go look at like I said, like Tully says, go read some of this stuff, watch some of these videos.
Yeah, make your own decisions, obviously. Mm-hmm. But I mean, honestly, even when I first watched it, I was like, man, this seems fishy as hell. Like, and this was, when did it come out? In 2020, because it seems like it came out right when the pandemic happened. Mm-hmm. It was a huge thing because everybody was stuck inside. And
I think that's what it was. See, I was one of those people who didn't get to stay home, so I didn't watch it.
Right. I watched it. But it was weird. Like, and if you're into like conspiracies and things, it seems like has all the elements of a conspiracy against this cat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So definitely check things out and see what's going on there. See how you feel about it, and start writing your local governments and your state governments, and have them write the guy sitting in the chair there up there in the hierarchy, and let's see if we can get him out. He's supposed to get out last time. He had a limo waiting for him, and things fell through.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, because and that's the thing. Anytime like you go up for parole or whatever, the people that you harmed are allowed to talk to the parole board, and if they aren't comfortable with it, 90% of the time you're not going to get out.
Right.
So like I said, and the other stuff aside, because like I said, obviously he did not try to get her killed, according to all the evidence that we looked at.
Right. The hitman that was hired, that they're saying was hired to go down there and do it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty big one.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
exactly. So, that's crazy. Yeah. Absolutely crazy. That doesn't automatically qualify him for a retrial.
Right. I think I found out where I'm getting some Christmas gifts for everybody this year too. I'm look out for that.
Help out Joe's case at the same time, huh?
Yeah.
Got it.
Totally love.
Oh, a tiger.
Oh, he smells coffee.
I hadn't made a mixtape in a long time, Tully. Keep singing.
Yeah. Well, you gotta get that one from Billy Ray Cyrus when he's saying Old
Town Grill.
Yeah. You can get Joe Exotic underwear, by the way. This is the one I'm gonna get totally. I do.
Oh my God.
How's he not? Wow. Skin and hair. He's got all kinds of cool stuff on here. Huh.
Lotions.
Lotions.
Yeah.
Supplements. Summer of 25. Yeah. Oh, I definitely
Yeah.
am. This.
Cecil's going to be sitting on here looking through this for the rest of the night.
I am 100%. Because look at this. This is what everybody should buy. Let's get the word out to everybody. Free Joe Exotic. Pardon this man. Oh, that's a women's tee though. It make me
Well,
look.
I don't want to brag or anything. I didn't wear it tonight because I didn't want to seem biased, but I do own I've owned a Free Joe Exotic shirt for
a long time.
Years, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Not
Well,
that
like
I'm
I said-
biased or anything.
Well, like I said, I the only thing I've ever heard about this, like I said, I remember when all the hype when it was on Netflix when it first came out, everybody was talking about it. I'm like, I'm not watching that because, like I said, I really don't do reality type shows. It's just not my thing. But the only thing I'd ever heard about it when the first episode when we were going into the news stuff, when y'all were talking about Carol Baskin, that was the first thing I'd ever actually heard about it because I didn't know who she was. I didn't know who he was. I mean, I had heard of the Tiger King, but that was it.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I don't have any background as to any of it. So I feel like
I love it.
that's the one you need to get Mandy.
That's a
Fantasizing is not a crime.
I'll remember that.
Well, and I think it's a double pun because he's really talking about the whole Carol thing.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. So my understanding is her husband went missing, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Her first husband disappeared.
Okay.
He was about to take all their cats to, I think, Puerto Rico.
Somewhere
Okay.
like that.
He wanted to have a sanctuary out of country.
Uh-huh.
And everybody on the first season is speculating how she got rid of her husband. Her husband's family is on there speculating how she got rid of her husband. The day that I think it was the day after the statute of whatever it is when somebody's missing to dead, she files and gets his fortune and proceeds from there. And then the whole second season, like I said, I guess because of the lawsuit or what have you.
Right.
The whole second season is just a Carol circle jerk.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
trying to make it seem like, and maybe the dude
Yeah.
was, but it was all just trying to make it seem like that her first husband was such a bad person. Like even if they did find evidence, nobody would give a shit because he was just such a bad person anyway.
Well, yeah, she alleges that he is still alive and in Costa Rica, but then she was the person who had him declared legally dead in 2002.
Yeah.
So he'd be like 100 years old too if he was still alive in Costa Rica.
Yeah. Because like I said, it said that Don Lewis, I guess was her first husband, was a millionaire who disappeared in 97. And he is not a young man.
He wasn't a young man then.
Right. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
He was
like I said, he's been missing for 23 years.
Because they had like a 25-year age difference or something crazy like that. So he was like in his 60s or something, and she was in her 20s or 30s. It was all weird.
I guess this one's about one of his cats losing their balls or something. Save Elvis's balls.
Save Elvis's balls. That's the one I think that they're trying to neuter. Yeah.
I saw a tiger.
Arkansas, man. It's pretty catchy, honestly. I mean, yeah, this whole thing's wild. I think I watched season 2 for like an episode, and I just turned it off.
It doesn't have the same attention grab as the first season, because literally all it is trying to absolve Netflix of a lawsuit.
Yeah.
And pad that whole story about the husband going missing or what have you.
Yeah. Anyway, if you feel the same as we do, or as I do, I'm not speaking for the other 3. Make sure to tweet your state governor, like, hey, write somebody a letter. You guys is there anything else you want to cover tonight, or you want to keep going over this, or?
Oh, we probably do need to hit at least one other thing if you're game.
I'm game.
Okay, let me pull it up then.
I'm game for it all, brother.
Let me pull it up then.
This weekend, this would be a nice weekend bag for $56. Look at that.
Okay.
Polyester.
So if we don't hit this now, it probably won't be relevant by the time we get back to it.
Okay.
So something that's been blowing up, just to end on a weird note, and I know everybody on this show has heard and seen clips of this, but I think we need to talk about it because it's going like it went mega viral over the last 2 weeks. But in the early hours of July 31st, 2021, so this happened in 2021 and it's just blowing up now.
Yeah.
A man known only as T was driving his pickup truck northbound on Route 210 near Curry in Pender County, North Carolina.
Yeah.
When he spotted what appeared to be a severely injured person slumped in a ditch, described as 30s, wearing a tattered Civil War era uniform, bleeding profusely from a head wound. Concerned, T slowed down to call 911 at 10:58 to report the sighting and request medical assistance. But as he continued driving while on the line with dispatchers, the situation escalated into pure terror. He suddenly heard a loud thud on the back of his truck while he's driving. Why am I?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that would do it on everything. I thought it was just mine. Okay, let me fix this.
Look at Tully there.
Start singing again, Tully. Start singing again.
I saw a tiger.
Okay, sorry about that. I mean, I didn't realize it was going to do everybody. My bad.
I was like,
looking at
this is my moment, people. Well, and I'm always squinting because I have lights like back behind the thing.
I was expecting you to start doing this, like, oh no.
I'm gonna have to start wearing sunglasses while we're on the show because
there you go. Linda said, just wave and smile.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for interrupting your story.
You were totally fun. But so T starts screaming as the thing's in the back of his truck. That's not human. Before the call abruptly cut off. Obviously, it went viral across. So it was in a September 2025 episode of the YouTube series Carolina Case Files. Went viral on TikTok, Reddit, X, everywhere. And let me paste you this video, Cecil. You may want to skip around it. Because there's a part that just is strictly, there's an interview with the dude and a 911 call.
Are we wanting to watch the interview? All right. Let's get through the ad here. Let's see. Let's look at this loser.
Just go the guy when the interview starts, where he's standing away from him.
Yeah, this guy hasn't showed his face either, by the way.
Which makes it more credible, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's not in it for clout, fame.
Right.
Of the trip, I was coming up from Florida to visit my family. At the time, I was going to a trade school down there, and when I was driving up here to where the incident occurred by the battlefield, it was already easily like well into the morning. I wasn't looking at my phone. I just know it was pitch black outside, and it was pitch black. I couldn't see the moon, stars, nothing, just barely the road through my headlights. And I had my window down because the AC wasn't working the best. And as I was coming around, there's a massive right curve right there before you cross the Black River. And then after that, you have the battlefield. So on that massive black curve, as I'm coming around, I had just started the curve and I was about a third of the way through it. And I look over into the ditch on my right because I caught a quick glimpse of something. And as I take a further look, it looks like there's I'd say probably a 30-something-year-old man standing in that ditch wearing what looks like an old Civil War uniform, just covered head to toe in blood. And
right, so it is the spirits that people.
I don't know where he picks back up.
Just call it, right?
The uniform was torn as well. That threw me off because I didn't expect to see it at like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, I'm calling 911 after I see him to report that because for all I know, it could have just been a normal guy that was injured and needed emergency help. It looked like what had happened is he hit his head on something.
Okay.
And the blood was just pooling down over his face and torso.
Okay.
And well, as I was calling, everything seemed perfectly normal. Just quick phone call to 911, let them know, hey, there's a guy out here, and try to find somewhere safe to park so that way I can take them to him. Well, as you know from the 911 call, right as soon as I reported that, I already had my window up at that point. All of a sudden, I heard a massive bang on my truck, and my truck bounced down from the rear like I was pulling a heavy trailer and I hit a pothole.
Wow.
And so I'm sitting there going, what the hell was that? Which I'm pretty sure you heard me yell, what the hell? I turned on my my bed light, and I looked in my rearview mirror, and all I saw was this white, like snow white face right up against my rear windshield.
Oh,
like it was looking into my truck, trying to see what it could see. It had shallow, sunken eyes. It had no nose. Just think if you took skin and put it on a human skull and stretched it thin.
Oh, mate.
Couldn't see any ears, just that. And immediately I just started screaming. I didn't realize until afterwards that I had said that's not human on the call, because it was just the first thing I started screaming because I was terrified. I didn't have my firearm with me. Nothing.
See, I've got to be honest with you. That's the sort of and the first human
is, and it picks up speed fairly easily. Well, my truck at the time, it had a gas-powered 6-liter V8 Vortec on it, and it was a proper dual exhaust, hence why I had the window up. So that truck is nice and loud. Well, I'm doing in between like 55, 60 miles an hour when this happens, and I just stomped on the gas for a second. When I looked at the speedometer before I slammed on my brakes, I was doing maybe 80. And I slammed on those brakes with all my might, and I went from like 80 miles an hour down to like 35 in just like a couple of seconds. and all I see is this just this super scrawny long body just fly over my truck in a ball rolling.
Oh, wait, was that right? Okay.
It sounds like he's describing totally.
Could be. But I've got some thoughts, but I'm going to wait until we're all the way through. I think eventually.
Swerving to the left, I see it stand up, and it is easily taller than that truck.
No way.
I'm 5'10". The truck is about 2 inches taller than I am. And this thing was easily like maybe 7 feet.
Wow. Shit.
And as I pass it, I look in my mirror and I see it bolt to the left into the woods, and it looked like some, I don't even know what the hell, because it looked like somebody took a normal human and stretched them out, starting with the limbs.
Wow. That
like abnormally long.
Hang on a second. Hang on a being.
I've got a inversion table that I'm hoping does that, so I look skinnier.
Took off into the woods, and I just said, nope, I'm out of here. I'm not staying to figure out what this is. And there's a gas station all the way at the corner where the highway intersects. And I pulled into that gas station. I was doing like 90 all the way to that gas station because that was the only place with any light that I saw.
Right.
And I just stopped in that parking lot and waited like 10, 15 minutes for state troopers to show up. Well, next thing I know, the state troopers show up at the gas station, and I'm just staring back at that road to make sure that it's not coming back.
Right.
So I tell them what happened. They proceed to look at my truck, look in the bed of the truck, look on top of the cab, and on top of the cab, clear as day, you can see like it was scratching trying to get into my truck.
Really?
You've got to be able to see the scratches. Show us the scratches. Somebody knocked on my door.
Or when it initially hit, another way to look at it is when it hit the back of the truck and landed in the bed, like it had latched onto the hood for a second and scraped trying to balance itself. Yeah. And you could see that clear as day.
Let's have a look.
There's a couple of scratches from like squirrels and tree branches, but those stuck out because it looked like it had landed like this and just ripped backwards.
How many scratch marks is it?
And
try and work out how many fingers.
Well, they asked me to take them approximately where it happened. And I mean, when it's the middle of the night and you're going the opposite direction of where you just came, your sense of direction's a little off.
Right.
So I took them back to approximately where I believe it was, because I couldn't see. I didn't remember any landmarks because I was going from the other way. But there was an S curve, and I think I took them. I think I might have taken them on accident to the S curve, but the incident happened before that S curve because I hit that S curve going about 65 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour. I still remember the jolt of the truck, the fear, everything. I remember pretty much everything just in that one moment. I looked at the truck the next morning. Sure enough, scratch marks are right there on the roof of the truck.
What were the reaction of the law enforcement officers and shit?
The law enforcement officers, when they showed up, they were skeptical. Although now they might not be as much, but at the time, the troopers especially seemed skeptical. Parks and Wildlife, when they flew the drone, they seemed more curious than anything, and EMS was more like, okay, are you okay? And they went and looked for the other guy and couldn't find him.
So the state patrol were there,
yes.
EMS,
yes,
wildlife,
and the
sheriff's department.
Yes,
I guess because we interviewed the sheriff.
It doesn't sound like he's made this up at all, mate.
So he had deputies out.
And I think one of them might have broken off after the initial contact with me, but I know one of them was with me because I was still in fight or flight when they told me, "Hey, can you go back and show us?" Because I did not want to go back. Not at all.
I don't blame you at all. I don't blame you.
I still refuse to drive through that area at night because
it's freaky deaky.
I don't know what I saw. I don't ever want to see it again.
May.
Do you have the actual call? Because the call was crazy. I listened to the call.
Maybe don't share the video yet, but go toward the beginning of that same video and just click around and see if you can find it. It's on there, I think.
Okay. Y'all talk a little bit while I'm doing this.
I have a couple thoughts. So think back to the episode that we did on Skinwalker Ranch. And they're basically saying that any of these UFO events are causing so much radiation on people that they're seeing Bigfoots and black dogs and ghosts, and because Skinwalker Ranch has it all.
Mhm.
So what if the radiation is like leftover evidence of whatever they're wanting to put into people's heads? Because in this case, he saw a bleeding ghost of a Civil War soldier, and then this thing jumps into the back of his truck, and I guess the facade was up for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like maybe they portray that as like maybe that's a hunting mechanism.
It could be. I mean, somebody stops and like, hey, can I help? Blah blah blah.
Right. Because you've got to have a reason to stop. If you're already in motion and you see something crazy, you can keep on going, you know.
Even
But
your
most
audio
people, if you see someone that's injured by nature, you're going to stop.
But if you see a civil, like maybe it was in an area where if somebody saw a Civil War veteran, they would want to stop and like take pictures or something, like even if you stop to take pictures you're still getting got,
Mhm. Well, and here's the thing too, you've got a lot of places, especially in the South, that still do Civil War reenactments.
Yes.
Stephen.
So like I said, it's very possible, it was somebody that was doing this earlier and got hurt.
But he said it was 7 foot tall and was obviously running fast enough to catch up with the truck and jump in.
Yeah. Stephen, I think your voice is off, brother. I see you down there trying to talk and you can't hear you.
Oh, yeah. Yes, thank you. I have a couple of thoughts on that as well. It's listening. If you ever listen to Phil Snyder and what he described at Dulce, the description of this right here is kind of similar. About 7 feet tall, an alien type creature. But if you ever listen to very much of the Dogman encounters, there are people who talk about getting chased by a dogman down the highway and running 55, 60 miles an hour, and the dogman is keeping up with them. If this thing right here had the ability to appear as a Civil War soldier, and then its true identity was revealed seconds later, it kind of makes you wonder what's actually being seen,
Yes.
Yeah. I found the 911 call too. So we'll go ahead and let's listen to it. Because I mean, I didn't realize it was from 2021, was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was newer, and like he obviously hasn't been chasing any kind of fame with this.
Yeah, that's what makes it even more believable. If he went 4 years without like
going everywhere
he could go everywhere. He could be on every show making money off this.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and
County 911.
I'm just going to give a disclosure. The music is probably for added effect. I don't think he had music playing like this in the background.
The address of your emergency.
I'm driving on 210. I just crossed the Black River, and I thought I saw a guy standing on the side of the road bleeding.
Okay, where are you at, sir?
I'm on 210. I just crossed the Black River. I'm heading towards 53 East. I just passed Patriots Watch.
Okay, so you're over near Morse Creek?
Yes.
Okay. And You saw a man standing on the side of the road? What was that, sir?
You heard that.
Yes.
That's not human!
Sir, are you okay, sir?
There's something in the bed of my truck!
Okay, what's in the road?
No, it's not in the road, it's in my truck. In the bed.
There's something in the bed of your truck?
Yes, ma'am, I just turned on my bed light for my truck and there's something in my bed.
Okay, sir, when you say something, what do you mean?
I just knocked it off of the bed of my truck and went over my roof.
Okay, what was it?
According to the CAD notes and the deputy.
Now, I don't know if you caught it because of that stupid music playing for added effect, but as soon as the thump, which was added, somebody added an effect to it to make it louder, but the initial thump was real, and then they added a boom to it to make it think. You could hear him stomp his gas, like you could hear the engine. Like, that's a natural reaction to something like that.
Oh yeah, get away from something, but it's going with you.
Yeah,
that's how he said he got rid of it. Is he sped up and then slammed the brakes?
Yeah,
do it.
Yep.
That's wild, man. I've heard this. I didn't realize there was that much of a gap, so it kind of gives more credence to me.
Yeah, there's a lot of credibility. Oh, what was that officer about to say something about the trajectory or something?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Reports. This thing jumped into the back of his pickup truck and began to actually beat on the top of the cab of his truck. You could actually hear something beating on the top of the truck. The caller stated that it was beating and scratching on the top of the cab of his truck. He actually stated that he was able to engage his bed light and was able to somewhat identify this object that was in the back of his truck. At some point, he was able to slam on his brakes, and the force of inertia actually threw this thing out over his hood and onto the highway, where this thing stood up in the roadway, made its way to the wood line, and disappeared in the woods.
Excuse me if there's a change of tempo right now, okay? But I
Okay. That guy's very annoying.
Yeah, he is.
I'm sure people think that we're annoying too, though.
I think he's intriguing. I like him. But that was that's wild, man. And you know, there's all kinds of things like this that happen that people just don't talk about.
Oh yeah.
Crikey.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, do you think if he hadn't seen the person bleeding, do you think he would have even called 911 over the thing in the back of his truck after he got away from it? I don't
Probably
think
not.
Yeah, probably not.
Because he was actually on the 911 call about the bleeding person when it happened.
Yeah, he called about somebody hurt, but then this happened. I think if that would have just happened, you would never heard nothing about this.
What makes you think, like, how many stories like this just go unreported because the police don't believe them to begin with?
Yeah.
Right.
If he hadn't called about the blood and there hadn't been evidence of scratching, I doubt this would have even made it to a report.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean the simple fact that it was recorded by the 911 and you could hear the thump, you could hear the change in his voice. You could tell.
That's a natural reaction.
Yeah, that's a natural reaction. That was not acting. So, I mean, it's pretty creepy when you're listening to the 911 call. That really,
yeah, I like
that really convinces me.
I wish we would have had the raw 911 call because it's creepy in itself. I don't know why they add music and the extra effect to the thump, but the thump's there. And there's you can hear other things too. The music kind of took away from what was actually happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I would love if, and I know, like I said, you don't think about stuff, as it's happening and everything. If he'd had pictures of like the scratches, I'd like to have seen that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the guy keeps saying, show us the scratches. This kid probably don't have the truck anymore.
No, exactly. And like I said, why would you take pictures of it? You'd look at it and you might tell somebody about it. You might not.
Yeah.
Because like I say, how do you explain that?
And chances are, I mean, he was in trade school, so is probably a beat up truck anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So the scratches were new to him, but to anybody else, they'd be like, "Well, it could have been from anything." You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Some things you do have to experience yourself, you know, and everything. So, but yeah, that's wild. And like say, you know, the fact that you're just hearing about it and everything does definitely add some more credence to it because, like I said, you know, how many times do you see the same person on 15 podcasts, you know, talking about the same incident?
If this shit happened to me, I would be on every podcast.
Well, you know, now you could, but think about 5 years ago, how few people were actually talking about this kind of stuff on a podcast. You know, it was just kind of getting really started good.
Yeah.
You know, and everything. Because, like I said, you know, I think when we all first met and everything, we were all just a few months into it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm old school. I still think Coast to Coast AM is the best.
I do too.
Right.
Yeah. So,
You know, they don't get a lot of play anymore. Part of me wonders if we could snag a host from Coast to Coast to be on the show sometime.
hey,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm going to be honest with you. I have gone on there a couple of times and they have a subscription. And if you don't do the subscription, you can't listen to their content.
Maybe that's why. Like maybe that's why they don't have a lot of play anymore. Everything's behind a paywall.
Yeah.
I had a subscription to Coast for like 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I still listen to it, but I don't have it anymore.
No, you know,
I don't
I might
ever
would,
wanna
but
be
I'd
behind
rather
a
pay for
paywall.
Chat GPT at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different if you want to buy like the amazing honey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you can get honey, you can support the show, but I never want to be behind a paywall or people have to pay money just to hear our opinions on stuff. Like it's goofy.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly. You know, and I'm the same way, you know, I mean, because that's what we're trying to do is meet up with and talk to people who like this kind of stuff, you know, and why hide that behind a paywall? Like I said, you know, it'd be different if we were, you know, bringing on Stephen King, for instance. You know, I'm going to tell you that for the next 100 years, but you know, like I said, and even then, I still don't think, you know, I enjoy doing it. So why pay, you know, charge people for it?
Yeah. That's. I mean, it was free. I could listen to it on XM radio or whatever, you know, coast to coast. And I mean, that's when I truly enjoyed it. Whenever they put it all behind a paywall, I mean, I liked it, but I didn't like it that well. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
Most shows these days, and that's kind of the part of the downfall of podcasting is that the play used to be was to, you know, get some followers and then put everything behind the paywall.
Yeah.
And you know, you make money that way, but I don't like we're just in it for the love of the game.
Right. Exactly. You know, and here's the thing too. If you get that big and everything, you still don't need to be behind a paywall because you'll start getting sponsors. That's where you make your money. You know.
Yes.
So
yeah. Then really our only goal with sponsors is to make enough to just be able to afford our software that allows us to stream to all these places simultaneously.
Exactly.
Because for everybody listening, like we're live everywhere right now, and we're fortunate to be able to afford this software that allows us to be live everywhere at the same time. And regardless of where somebody comments, we can see the comments in like one aggregated view. It's way better than what it used to be back in the day. It was a lot harder.
Jeez, it was. It was so sorry. Oh my god, it was hard. But I had fun with it because I could edit it and put like little talking heads on people and change people's voices. Like it was fun.
You know, but 5 years ago was a completely different landscape.
Oh yeah.
But you know, we've had Landa almost the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. That's exactly right. And
rest
that's
in
awesome.
peace, Mike Lewis.
Yes, sir.
Rest in peace, Mike.
Yeah.
Yep.
Miss Mike.
Yeah.
Yes, your appreciation pays
Landa-
our bills, Landa.
Landa, you've done more than enough.
Yeah.
You get a pass.
Yeah.
That's right. Just seeing your sweet face every week.
I'm kind of bummed you didn't subscribe to my OnlyFans. I had to discontinue that.
What happened, Cecil? Turned out you were the only fan.
You were the only fan. Well, regardless, we appreciate everybody that tunes in from week to week just to listen to us blumber for hours on end.
And we're looking to get more guests too. And if you have anybody that you want us to reach out to or anything like that, or if you want to be a guest, you feel free to email us at witf@gmx.com. I'm reading an email right now. I'm trying to figure out if it was sent from a spam artist or not, but it's about a book called The Great Dick. It's apparently about a serial killer or something. Maybe we'll get this guy on. He's Barry Marr. We'll see.
We were talking about Ed Gein earlier.
Yep.
So
The Great Dick. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's the name of the book. Yeah.
Is it a real book?
Yeah. The Great Dick and the Dysfunctional of Man.
That reminds me of that dude that's viral all over the place because he writes. He's acclaimed international author, blah blah blah, and he wrote that book that's called "This Hoe's Got Roaches in Her Crib."
Oh yeah, you bought me that book for my birthday.
It's not AI, by the way. He literally wrote the book.
Yeah.
I might have to see about this book.
After we get done, I'll pull up the post for you guys. I got it pulled up. But go out, write your state governor, write President Trump, write JD Vance, write whoever can get a partner for Joe Exotic, and
tell Obama,
tell
George
Obama.
Bush,
yeah.
tell everybody,
tell everybody, tell everyone.
They still have clout.
They do.
Yep.
Yeah. And hit like and subscribe if you like and subscribe to what we're saying here. But we're going to have more guests. I'm working on some cryptid episodes. It's been a while since we had a good just rundown of some cryptid stories.
I was about to say, don't say cryptid guests because we had Spencer on it a
Oh,
couple
yeah,
weeks ago.
I mean, just stories, you know what I mean? Like we did back in the day. Quickie crypties, you know. we need to get a quick episode of Quickie crypties in. And thank you all. Is there anything that anybody wants to plug?
No. Go sign up for the newsletter at weirdrealities.net.
Yep, weirdrealities.net. Sign up for that newsletter. Morgana puts a lot of work into that. And you can catch me every Friday with these crazy people at 7 p.m. Eastern time on I'm so tired right now.
And Cecil is looking for a Tidy Whitey sponsor. If anybody out there,
it needs to be a Tidy Brownie because I always ruin the Whiteys.
yeah, that's why he needs them. That's why he needs them.
Hey, I'm going to tell y'all something. I saw a guy this week that actually had the nerve and the audacity to say it was up to women to teach their men how to prevent that from happening.
How do you? No.
I cut it off. I was like, you're just flipping dumb.
I just started buying darker curler stuff. Like,
there you go.
That's the play. That's the play. This guy saying that men do not sit and wipe; they stand up.
Oh.
And that they shouldn't have to wipe at all.
Oh, boy.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, y'all got to go.
Not me. I use a bidet.
There you go.
A cultured man.
A cultured man. Bidet is
Sorry
the
for
best.
interrupting.
Bidet is the best thing that's ever been invented. I do believe.
Does it have like an air blower that dries you off afterwards?
No, I use a hairdryer.
Thanks, Tully.
It's a 2-step process. It's like a car wash.
Yeah, exactly.
You get sprayed and soaped and then dried off with the hair dryer afterwards.
Yeah.
That was not the mental image I wanted to give a bit.
Well, and I imagine like Mandy's probably manning the hair dryer.
No, I'll do it myself. I'm self-capable.
I'm gonna send him a heat gun for Christmas.
I got a heat gun. That's too hot.
This is why I hang out with y'all.
But yeah, like, subscribe, follow everything. And thank you all for watching us, because we are watching you. Peace.
The bees are dying, and our survival hangs in the balance. In the past year, over 70% of U.S. bee colonies, more than 1.1 million hives, were lost, marking the worst collapse on record. At 4RBs, we're fighting back with our breakthrough PureWave cell, a quantum frequency device crafted with 48,000 Gauss rare earth magnets in the shape of the flower of life. When placed inside a beehive, it delivers remarkable results. Colonies grow 2 to 3 times larger, honey production soars, pesticide and antibiotic use drops to zero, colony collapse nearly vanishes, and queen replacements plummet. Every purchase also supports our beekeeper program, providing free PureWave cells to small beekeepers worldwide. Rebuilding life one hive at a time. Join the fight today and buy a jar of PureWave honey, or even one of the cells used by the beekeepers. Use code WITF for 20% off at 4rbs.com. And if you're listening on audio only, that's the number 4, letter R, bees.com.